How many times have you seen one of your less than favorable behaviors exhibited back to you by one or more of your kids? It could be something as small as using poor table manners or as significant as lashing out in anger when things just don't go their way. Either way, it's vital for you to understand that children learn how to react from the people that are in their environment. They mimic the behavior of their role models. Simply stated, kids emulate adults' behavior until that behavior then becomes anchored and becomes theirs for them to own. So if you're watching this, you obviously want your kids to be empowered and successful. And if you want your kids to be more empowered, then you need to be more empowered as well. So it's time for you to put up or shut up with secret number 4. Set the example. If you want your kids to act in a moral or acceptable way, then you must take the lead. If you don't want your kids to steal, then you shouldn't. If you don't want them to smoke, then you can't smoke. If you want them to be drug-free, then you must be as well. You have to set the example. Now, things are very cut and dried with kids. This is a key to remember when you're dealing with children, especially younger kids. With them, something either is or it is not. There's no gray area with them. Like many behaviors, justification is something that they learn from the adults as they get older. So let me share with you a story, something that I witnessed firsthand with my daughter. A man was with his young son in a local bakery, and as part of their trip, the dad was incorporating math into their journey. He was asking his son to say, how much is this particular item? And then he would ask them, okay, so if that's this much, how much would 3 of those be? And so on. We've all done it with our kids. And on this day, it was very busy at the bakery. And when their number was called, the dad and the son stepped up and placed their order, and the dad paid in cash. And when the girl behind the counter gave him his change, she mistakenly gave him $10 too much. Now, the son noticed this and started to say something. But the father gave him the motion of putting one finger up, the international symbol for hold on a second. He took his change and he put it in his pocket, got their food, and they walked towards the door. And the boy had a look of confusion on his face. By the look on the boy's face, I guessed that the dad had told him that it's not acceptable to steal or to take something that doesn't rightfully belong to you. Yet that is what the boy just witnessed. So what did he just learn? Has something like this ever happened to you? Most people, and therefore kids, are visual learners. Watching you is how they learn what is acceptable in society and what is not. This is why in certain places around the country, one set of behaviors might be considered normal, but in other areas, they might be completely unacceptable. And kids learn that by watching what goes on around them. They learn by watching the adults in their environment. What we're doing by using secret number 4 is we're setting the example. What we're doing is we're teaching our kids that they can become their own role models. Soon they'll begin setting the example for kids that are younger than them. They might even begin to get adults on board by making their own behaviors visual back to them. There's an old saying that actions speak louder than words. While this may seem harsh to some of you watching this, what I'm about to say may be the most important thing that I teach. That if you don't lead by example, your words to a child are empty. They hear you say one thing, and they see you doing another. While they may be too young to have a vocabulary word for it, kids recognize hypocrisy. Everyone, regardless of age, wants to know that they can trust the people who are closest to them. If a person's words and actions are incongruent, a shadow of doubt is placed in the mind of the recipient. So they're basically saying, can I really trust what this person says? Now, do you want your kids thinking this about you? And as they get older, will they find someone or a group of people, like a gang, whose actions and words are congruent, whether they be positive or negative? Wouldn't you rather be the trusted source for your kids? So leave a comment below how you're going to lead, how you either do lead by example, or how you're going to start doing that today. So please like this video and subscribe, and always remember, be great.